When you challenge the might of a US warship, there is no room for error, no second chance. 2 a.m. hours local time, January 14th, 2024. From a mobile launch site hidden within Houthi, Yemen, a modified anti-ship ballistic missile claws its way into the dark sky. Reaching a velocity of 3.4 kilometers per second, intercept with its intended target, the USS Laboon, is estimated to be less than 60 seconds. As the missile ascends, its GPS guidance system, fed coordinates from an Iranian vessel in the Red Sea, maintains unwavering lock. In a reinforced bunker 2 miles from the launch site, Houthi operators monitor telemetry data through encrypted Iranian communication channels. The thrill of potentially striking a US warship courses through them. They remain unaware that the missile's inertial navigation system is drifting by a mere 0.5 degrees. An imperceptible deviation now, but one that will soon cascade into catastrophic failure, sending the weapon careening towards the Gulf of Aden. The missile hurtling towards the Laboon is a repurposed Iranian Kavars missile, ingeniously adapted by the Houthis for anti-ship warfare. Its limited range of just 186 miles forces the Houthi operators to deploy launchers dangerously close to the coastline. This proximity, while improving their chances of hitting US targets, simultaneously exposes them to the ever-watchful eyes of US sensors and the devastating response of counter-battery fire. It's a calculated gamble, one they deem necessary for a shot at the Laboon. The mission hinges on a simple calculation. The missile's circular error probable, a measure of its accuracy, is roughly 150 meters or 450 feet. Given the Laboon's length of 510 feet, a successful strike is predicated on the vessel being either at anchor or moving at an extremely slow pace. At any significant speed, the missile's odds of hitting are virtually non-existent. Unfortunately for the Laboon, the timing of the attack couldn't be worse. Destroyers like the Laboon possess immense power driven by 4 gas turbine engines capable of propelling the ship at speeds exceeding 30 knots. However, this immense power comes with a significant drawback. With a fuel tank capacity of 450,000 gallons, the ship consumes a staggering 6,500 gallons per hour at full power. Sustained high-speed operations are simply not feasible. The ship would quickly run dry. Furthermore, continuous operation of the engines necessitates periodic shutdowns for mandatory routine maintenance. To conserve fuel and conduct essential maintenance, vessels like the Laboon often operate in a state known as trail shaft. In this configuration, all but one of the engines are offline, severely restricting the ship's speed and maneuverability. It is precisely at this vulnerable moment that the Houthis strike. Back on the Laboon, an eerie calm blankets the ship as the crew endures what seems to be another monotonous mid-watch. The ship is now moving at 3 knots, barely faster than the current, rendering it virtually stationary. This tranquility is shattered when a radar contact appears almost 200 miles away. Initially undetected by the ship's own sensors due to distance and adverse weather conditions, the Aegis combat system rapidly confirms the calculated trajectory. The contact is fast, hostile, and closing in at an alarming speed. How can they engage a target they can't even see? Fortunately for the Laboon, an ally is on station to provide vital support. An E-2D Hawkeye orbiting the Red Sea at 27,000 feet is the key. Within seconds of the missile's launch, the Hawkeye's massive ANAPY-9 radar dome detects the threat, instantly classifying it as a missile based on its speed, course, and flight pattern. Scanning hundreds of square kilometers of territory with a refresh rate of 6 revolutions per minute, the Hawkeye provides updated position data every 10 seconds. Almost immediately, the Hawkeye's crew begins transmitting the missile's track to the Laboon via Link 16. The Hawkeye maintains cooperative engagement capability with the Laboon, continuously feeding tracking data to the destroyer and providing a fire control solution, even though the ship's own sensors cannot acquire the target. Despite this crucial information, the crew has only 30 seconds to react. As the Houthi missile reaches its apogee, the highest point in its trajectory, it flips over and enters its terminal dive phase. This maneuver is designed to execute a high dive attack, exploiting a potential weakness in many ships' defense networks by attacking from directly overhead, targeting a radar blind spot. However, the SPYRADAR safeguarding the LABOON is no ordinary system. It easily detects the missile as it descends towards the ship. The crew then realizes that luck is on their side. That seemingly insignificant 0.5 degree error from earlier has now compounded over the course of the flight, escalating from a mere few feet off course to approximately 10 miles. But the missile, oblivious to its impending failure, continues its descent. Its onboard accelerometers activate the active seeker for the terminal phase, attempting to lock onto the GPS coordinates provided by the Houthi operators. Unbeknownst to the missile and its operators, the Laboon is no longer at the designated location. Within seconds of the missile warning, the Laboon's officer of the deck orders an emergency online start of the engines. Normal startup procedures are bypassed, allowing the ship to accelerate from 3 knots to over 30 knots in just 90 seconds. As the Laboon rapidly gains speed, it executes a hard turn to port, maximizing radar coverage on the incoming missile. The Mark 99 Illuminator prepares to saturate the missile with directed radar energy in the final seconds of an SM-2 engagement. The missile the Laboon would launch to intercept the threat. Fortunately for the crew, the Houthis' inability to construct a reliable missile is evident. Within seconds, it becomes clear that the missile will harmlessly fly overhead, posing no threat. Approximately 30 seconds later, the crew watches as the missile splashes harmlessly into the water 12.5 miles away. The Laboon speeds away, already formulating their next move: finding the launcher. Locating the launcher is far easier said than done, unless you have the resources of the US military. That E-2D Hawkeye from earlier now transitions to an offensive role. Lacking airborne early warning aircraft or satellites, the Houthis rely on drone video feeds for over-the-horizon targeting and battle damage assessment. With the Hawkeye already aware of the missile's general launch direction, its radar focuses on that sector of Yemen. In the skies above Yemen, absent commercial or private air traffic, any unidentified aircraft is highly likely to be a Houthi drone, and soon they strike gold. At a range of 342 miles, the Hawkeye captures video of 4 Houthi drones flying in formation. These drones, dispatched as forward observers to witness the missile strike, inadvertently earn themselves an express delivery of US firepower. But before unleashing ordnance, one more step remains. A KH-11 satellite orbiting 500 kilometers above Earth becomes the linchpin of this operation. Its advanced technology allows it to distinguish objects as small as 4 to 10 inches from that distance. Imagine standing in Washington, D.C. and identifying a specific sandwich in a New York City subway. This incredible capability, combined with high-speed data links, transforms the Hawkeye's general bearing and range of the launcher into precise coordinates within a single hour. Now, all that remains is to deliver the welcome wagon in the form of these jets. Around 0300 local time, the first 2 FA-18 Super Hornets roar off the deck of the USS Eisenhower. 2 more FA-18s quickly follow, establishing communications with the orbiting Hawkeye after takeoff. Having realized their mistake, the Houthis are prevented from mobilizing additional launchers for a second strike. Now, the highest priority target. As the FA-18s approach Yemen, the Hawkeye confirms that the coast is clear. The Houthis are dormant for the night, that is, until the FA-18's ALR-67R ADAR warning receivers light up. These antennas, strategically located around the FA-18's nose, tail, and stabilizers, provide 360-degree coverage, alerting the pilot to the bearing of enemy radar. While lacking precise range data, the system indicates the enemy radar signal strength, enabling the pilot to estimate distance. The system detects the telltale frequencies of a Houthi 1S9-1 straight flush radar cleverly concealed between 2 apartment buildings. Despite the advanced mission library storing thousands of the world's most common radar frequencies for instant identification, the pilots require positive visual confirmation before initiating an attack run, adhering to strict rules of engagement. This device, mounted underneath the aircraft, provides that visual confirmation. The Advanced Targeting Forward-Looking Infrared ATFLIR POD delivers positive visual target identification with 1.2 to 2 meter resolution at distances up to 90 kilometers. This level of precision allows pilots to distinguish between legitimate military targets and civilian structures in the densely populated areas where the Houthis position their equipment. With visual confirmation secured, the FA-18s commence their attack runs. Once the formation is within 30 miles of the target area, the lead aircraft assigns targets. The first aircraft targets the launcher itself, the second targets the launcher's radar system, the third targets the command bunker 2 miles away, and the fourth serves as backup in case of a miss. If all primary targets are neutralized, the fourth aircraft will eliminate the launch pad established for the 4 spotting UAVs that returned from their unsuccessful attack on the Laboon. However, this seemingly straightforward task presents a significant challenge. The Houthis Houthi launcher is not simply sitting in the street. The Houthis have commandeered a civilian AIR raid shelter, transforming it into a firing position. The weapon is rolled out to fire, then quickly retracted back into the shelter, shielded by roughly 6 feet of reinforced concrete. Fortunately, the FA-18s carry a special surprise that will penetrate the air raid shelter with devastating ease. Mounted on the wings of each FA-18 are 4 2,000-pound bombs. But these are not ordinary bombs. They are GBU-31 bunker busters, standard BLU-109 bombs fitted with GPS guidance kits, transforming them into precision weapons. This is precisely what makes them perfect for this target. Unlike a conventional bomb with a thin metal sheet encasing a ton of explosives, these bombs feature a 1-inch thick hardened steel case. This transforms the conventional bomb into a precision jackhammer with a penetration capability of up to 8 feet. A single one of these is enough to breach the protective barrier around the launcher. The bomb's effectiveness isn't solely based on its steel casing. The BLU-109 warhead contains 550 pounds of high explosive, creating an intense blast in confined spaces that exceeds human survivability thresholds by 700%, guaranteeing the destruction of both equipment and personnel. The warhead incorporates a delayed action fuse, programmable from 0 to 250 milliseconds. Before takeoff, the sailors aboard the Eisenhower set the fuses to precisely 70 milliseconds, just enough time to penetrate the concrete ceiling without burrowing into the floor below. This creates an airburst blast, reducing an area the size of a football field to that of a small apartment. And now, the US Navy is knocking on their doorstep. By 0345, the first GBU-31 reaches its target, precisely piercing the top of the SHELTER, housing the primary MISSILELAUNCHER site. The hardened warhead penetrates all 6 feet of reinforced concrete before detonating, creating a massive internal pressure wave that collapses the entire bunker from within. The second bunker buster strikes the site's radar installation on the street above seconds later. Since the target is above ground, the maintainers set the time delay fuse to 0, turning the BLU-109 into a point detonation weapon. Simultaneously, the third aircraft breaks away, targeting the command bunker inside a cave on the outskirts of town. Though the Houthis attempt to evacuate, they cannot outrun a bomb traveling at slightly over the speed of sound. With all 3 primary targets neutralized, the FA-18s relay real-time video feeds of the strikes to strike group command staff aboard the carrier nearly 75 miles away. With 100% confirmation of destruction, the Admiral orders the secondary UAV launch point to be hit. A lone FA-18 peels off from the formation and heads towards a shallow dirt bunker dug into a parking lot. The bunker offers limited protection against a weapon capable of penetrating up to 30 feet of loose soil. The roughly 6-foot deep hole the Houthis dug is akin to stopping a freight train with a fly swatter. With all 4 UAVs and their operators neutralized, the final aircraft breaks from its attack run and rejoins the circling formation overhead before returning to the Red Sea. A successful mission and one of many in the escalating Red Sea conflict. This is gobamilitary. Subscribe for more real-time battlefield breakdowns and tactical deep dives.